The Media Foundation for West Africa, just like they do each election year, has started its survey in monitoring the language used on both radio and TV, and as well as in the print and online media. But their first survey report seems to indicate that apparently some of us, myself, Mama Uso Abwaje, and then also a couple of others, and somebody we have in the studio, our language is not too good on radio, TV, and the various write-ups that we do. But that also indicts the political parties and their representatives, and how that also dovetails into the subject of what best language to use in an election year. And that's what we're here to discuss about. That very report by the Media Foundation for West Africa.
And let me say that this particular one was monitored between April 18 and 30, and it had to do with radio stations. It says that the New Patriotic Party used more abusive language on radio, and then it's got names of some radio stations as well. And so we thought, okay, why don't we get Nana Yabrefo, who is our colleague on Bedrim on Adom TV right here, because, you know, we do this job together, exactly.
Nana, what's up?
Charlie, I'd say.
But do you believe this finding?
Well, to some extent, yes. I mean, you and I know what happens on radio and television, and some of the viewers probably tend to like it. I don't know why. They enjoy it, they get excited and all that, but it's not good. I know currently, well, I would rather blame us, the Tree radio and television, yeah, because you see, when you're explaining yourself in English, because it's not our language, you don't go deep.
Yeah.
You understand? But when you're trying to do something in your own local, you have a lot of terms to use. You have the luxury to say how you want it to go. You understand? So to some extent, yeah. These things do happen, especially with us, the Chi. I won't say as presenters per se, because we try to embellish it a bit.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. So
and sometimes you say Sebi and then you say the bad word.
Honestly, I mean, me, I don't know why I should use the word Sebi if you are using a bad word. I mean, some of it is not too good, not too.
Is it that because you found out there's a certain demand for it, or perhaps your audience tend to like it?
You see, when somebody is when there's an issue, you understand, and it gets to a point when the person is saturated with it or has gone to a limit, I mean, you tend to burst out. It happens in your home. Something happens today, you just brush it off. The following day, you brush it off. The third time, probably the word you use might not be very good, but by the time you realize that you've already said it, you understand, then you go back and you realize that, oh, you could have said it better.
Yeah.
But because the thing had gone on for a long time, you don't know what to say. Like this morning, I mean, there's Ghana water issue. I mean, the CSR has done something and something is wrong. Admitting it, and then we find a way to correct the thing. We try to blame, you cry, you do water, you use pure water, yours is not good. I'm blaming each other. I mean, sometimes you just cannot stand it. You only would use words like "Chalimufe free," so I mean, you should, and you understand. So
why is it that on the vernacular stations, and we're talking vernacular because even though Akan stations are very popular around, it depends on which region in which you are. The local station will be very much popular compared to the normal medium of expression of English that we have on the regular programming. That's, you have a lot more restriction. Why is that we don't tend to have those sort of guidelines also, perhaps guarding?
Which guidelines? Do we really have one?
Well, not necessarily, but you went to journalism school, because we're in school together. At the end of the day, we have ethics that we need to abide by. So when you're doing programming in English, sometimes you're very much conservative.
It's not only because you're speaking English,
yes,
but
you're
also
very
mindful.
Because in English, you can't just
have
speak.
To do.
You can't just speak the way you want.
That's what I'm saying. I'm trying to explain that. You see, when you're speaking somebody's language, sometimes finding words to express.
But how about the ethics? How about the things that control?
I don't know what you mean by ethics. I mean, controlling.
You've got a gatekeeping role, for instance.
And that's what we do. I mean, yes, you do that, but that's what I'm saying, that when the thing gets to a limit, like politicians, when they do certain things, one or two, they try to defend it. It gets to a point when you're reading the thing, you get so angry, like,
yeah,
what's happening? What are you trying to tell us? I mean, but hey, there are some words you just cannot use them.
Yeah.
I
But
mean,
Nanaya and
some words
Roland,
you
there's
can
a
use
there's
them.
a
You get
trend.
it.
There's a trend about people ranting. This is the presenter ranting. That
We do.
also seems to be catching on a lot.
We do.
Is it our duty to be ranting?
You just said gatekeepers, aren't we? I mean, I don't know what you mean by ranting. I don't know what you mean by
like
ranting.
you take a subject like this CSR
we comment
thing.
on it. We made we make commentaries on some of the issues that come into the papers. We are all taxpayers, for Christ's sake. These politicians come in here and behave as if they are the only people who know what's going on around town. You know what I mean? The same people turn around to do the wrong things. They behave as if they are holier than thou. If you are not in government, you are holier than thou, and that kind of thing. If you are in government, you are something else. You understand? Yeah. So some of us, I mean, it gets to a point you feel like you need to come in. It's not everything that you talk about. Like if you ask me to comment about this NPPN, I'm not interested in that. They know what they do. You understand? Yeah. But if you are talking about Ghana Water, talk about ECG, the light bills are too high. So the social issues. We should be able to talk about it. That's what I'm saying. We should be able to voice out our views for people to know that, yes, we are also media people. We are supposed to be gatekeepers. We are supposed to also tell people and let them know we are with them. Yeah. You understand? We understand what they are going through. I pay water bill. I pay light bill. So if there's a research like this, why won't I talk about it? Yeah. I would say what it said, then later, but I'll make sure I let you know this is my comment. It's not like I'm not going to tell you that it's from the paper. I'll tell you, hey, this
or
is
even
me.
from the station.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it looks to me as if in doing so, that's when people go overboard, because that
you
one,
have a point there. That's what I'm saying. That you have a point there. You have a point there. I mean, for instance, a colleague, captain with the Pasalav, I mean, it gets to a point where you realize, oh, you are going overboard. You could do certain things, but you should have a limit. You know, there are some words you can just use. But honestly, we don't really insult or fight each other like the politicians do. They are worse. I mean, we just express our opinions, but sometimes the language we use sometimes are not really refined. Yeah. I admit.
Okay, Nanaya, stay with us a while longer. When is your next segment?
8 o'clock.
8 o'clock. Okay, so we have a bit of time with you. But Derek Ecclesam went out on this particular subject. So why don't we hear what people had to say?
I think that is right, because almost all the time, particularly if you listen to a radio station like Oman FM, you can easily hear even the owner of the radio station using abusive languages all the time. So I think that is right.
But is that the way to go?
No, the other day I posted something on the Facebook that is democracy good for Ghanaians, for Africans, particularly Ghanaians, because you could see that because of democracy, we ended up using a whole lot of abusive languages here and there. Issues that we don't have to even waste our time on. That is what we continue to do in our country. I think the supporters are also another major group that support this kind of abusive languages in the system. Other than that, I think they could have put a stop to it a long time, because you could see that the demonstration here and there, even placards carry a whole lot of abusive languages. So you could see that it is a reality that the supporters have been supporting this political group to be using these kind of languages in the system. Yeah, you made mention of Montie FM. Yes, Montie FM, I think I listened to them on a few occasions, but I realized that most of the time they attack the personality of Akufo-Addo, but most of the time they also like to go for relevant facts to support their argument. So you could see that it's like Montie is for NDC, and then maybe what's the name? Oman FM is for NPP. It's like these two radio stations are trying to portray one project, one political candidate or the other. So I think that is where the problem is coming from.
It is not only MPP or NDC. It is a whole sort of all the political leaders. They do not respect their words that they brings out to the nation. But what pains me is these politicians are doing the politics and leave it for the next generation. What are they telling the generation? You see, in Ghana we have a culture, so doesn't mean this politics means we shouldn't respect. Even in school today, there are politics in this, what you call SS, JSS, and up to university. And these abusing words are all over, which doesn't sound good for us. And when this is continuing, that means future, we don't have future for our democracy in Ghana. Radio stations, they have what you call authoritative, that give them a direction, like Ghana Broadcasting Corporation. They can tell them that, no, this type of insult words that are going on your station, take care. We don't like it. And they will listen. But Ghana Broadcasting Corporation cannot tell me they don't know anything about it or they don't hear it, which is bad. They have to talk to the radio station. You are having a program on this thing. Okay, talk to the two panel. We don't need any, what they call, abusing words.
All right, so those are some of the views. Steve from Afajato. Steve says, good morning, Roland Mamavi. Love you both because you guys are good gossipers. Mokasa Dodwa. Oh, no, I don't know this. But you sent us a nice message. Thank you so much. Because, you know, we don't want to take your time. Otherwise, your producer and director will be on you. But what is this? Because for a lot of people, they've done this research. So what?
And this isn't the first time anyway.
In 2012, I think they
really, honestly, it's not the first time, and really, probably don't have it. They are cautioning us. Well, to some extent, it puts you in a tight corner. Like, it makes you feel as if, well, they are saying this is what you're doing. So some way, somehow, you feel ashamed. I mean, so then but it doesn't do anything. It doesn't do much because those stations, they know what you're doing. That is how they want to go about it. So this won't change what they do. You understand?
You're just blunt.
Yeah, this won't change what they do because honestly, I mean, some of our colleagues feel this is how they would be known out there. You understand? That people would want to listen to that particular person because of the way he goes about in doing his introduction and you know, that kind of thing. So really, honestly, it won't change much. It won't change much. And I mean, you can't blame us.
But personally, I mean,
the tracker is going up, hey. So,
we work with tracker people.
Yeah, it's going up, so you know. But well, when it comes to multimedia, you have a standard, so you know you have a limit. You can go to some extent, but you can't go beyond, you know. Yeah. So we try, but there are some.
It's true. Roland, are you learning lessons from this as well? Because you know, the next time they could write your name. They could cite, it was on Roland, you know, the segment, and Roland said this, or he couldn't control the guest, you know, that kind of thing.
As for this
network, can't control these people. These politicians, when they are doing their thing.
As for this segment, AM Talk, it's only when Kenny Japan comes out, that will be no Kenny Japan.
But you know, Ken, you can't really control him when he gets
our next guest. Our next guest will be Adams Mutawakilo, Member of Parliament for Daumango. Alongside Boniface Gambila Adagbela, Member of Parliament for NACDA. You know, sometimes
you hear them.
No, sometimes they run.
No, but Roland has a way. Sometimes he'll set them on fire.
Oh, how?
But this is okay.
Oh, but it's okay. You see, there's a difference between somebody who is just trying to make up his point, but trying to use the words is the issue. Insults, that's where the issue is. But I mean, just trying to bring out your point or your opinion in a harsh way or the strongest term, there's nothing wrong with that. Yeah. It's the insults that we are talking about. If they're saying that somebody's stupid or whatever. But anyway, if you go outside, when you say stupid, it's not an insult.
So how would they say, where Jimmy?
They don't say it that way.
Oh,
yeah, where Jimmy there? No, I think they.
Nana, what are you talking about? What are you talking about at 8 on Bedroom?
Oh, you're just discussing agreements and disagreements. We are discussing probably how to make your points. It's just almost like this one without necessarily, I mean, disagreeing with the person, yes, but going about it in a particular way that won't
agreeing to disagree.
Agreeing to disagree. Yeah. That's about what we're talking about.
Okay, we wish you well. Next time, please invite me.
Tell them that they should keep on bringing some of these things. Honestly, but it doesn't do anything. So best they just stop this time.
Taking a break. When we come back, we have AM Talk. Please stay on. We'll be right back.
Thank you, Nanaya.